This is the Daily Habit, and I feel all tingly inside. The founder of Snowboard Magazine, Mark Sullivan, and legendary pro snowboarder Nick Perata dropped by to talk about Tailgate Alaska. And lively musicians Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros are here to spread the spirit of immortality on the Snickers soundstage. It's a fun fest, people. Don't fight it. Welcome, everyone. It is the Daily Habit. How you doing? Pat Parnell. We're joined by Nick Perata, Mark Sullivan. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Nick, honor. Mark, also honor. I'm not going to lie to you. We've known each other for years. Those of you got to know Mark Sullivan, editor of Snowboarder Magazine back in the day, founder of Snowboard Mag.
That's right.
And you've been at every event since back in the day, right?
Competing? I have been going to a lot of events. I announced some of the Grand Prix.
Some of the best.
Yeah.
And we've had
I have a good time. I run into you there, and it's always a good time.
We've had the honor of being at 2 Olympics. And for someone who's been under a snowboard rock, why don't you introduce Nick Perata to the viewers out there?
Well, Nick Perata is one of the originators, the pioneers of Alaskan snowboarding. Started in 1989 before anyone. And also of note, Nick took probably the worst crash that anyone has ever taken on a snowboard.
TB1, right?
TB1, that's correct.
Yeah.
You guys might remember that one.
Yeah, because I know you started the whole term jib, but you took it to, I guess, the next level, right?
I took it to an extreme level back in the day, and ended up bonking my head just outside of Kirkwood, California.
Skull jib.
Skull jib knocked me out for about 3 days, but thank God I was surrounded by people like Mike and Dave.
Thanks to the hatchets, you're still alive.
Thanks to the hatchets, those boys saved my life. But
so I know you guys competed back in the day, and you were one of the early pioneers of the whole Alaska movement. Like, tell me a little bit about the early days and how important that is to what snowboarding is nowadays.
It was so new and fresh, and no one had been up there, and really that level of riding had not even been explored back in those days. So for me and Farmer and Jade,
that's what's scary. You're up there with Farmer, and like nothing bad happened, right? Well, it was loose, right?
If you're hanging with Farm, he's going to get into the trouble and not you. So you could always kind of tail him around and watch out.
Right. But Don Farmer is a legend for sure. And then, so fast forward to now, how did it become? I know you did the King of the Hill contest series, but what led to Tailgate Alaska, which really typifies the vibe up there?
Well, it's like there's been 2 generations of snowboarders that haven't even been tested in those mountains, and people all over the world in the United States don't even have an idea that Valdez, Alaska exists, and it is the best place in the world to snowboard for the snow conditions, the mountains, and just the accessibility that you have there. It's incredible.
Would you second that, Mark? Because you know a thing or two about good times in snowboarding, putting the two together.
Totally. I mean, when I went up there for the first time, it changed my life. It connected with me as a snowboarder who had been riding for 15 years on a deeper level, and it just, from that day on, I've been going back, and it's just something that has changed my perception of snowboarding and on riding those mountains. It's just better snow, bigger mountains. It's just like everything I've ever looked for in snowboarding in one place at one time.
Is it kind of cool, too, to see the pros that you ride with at all the resorts, and when they go there, they kind of they basically drop
yeah, I mean,
their manliness, right?
No matter who you are, when you get to Alaska for the first time, you're a beginner. You got to start over. You're dealing with sloughs. You're dealing with different kinds of avalanche conditions and snowpack, and also the snow sticks to steeper terrain. And so you can get on slopes you can't get on anywhere. And so really, it's like starting over again. And so some guys they get there and they just adapt immediately. And other guys, they get there and they look up at those mountains and they're just scared and they never adapt.
What's one pro that kind of stands out that, because you've been up there for years, that got up there and adapted pretty quick that you were blown away by?
Well, Rob Kingwell.
Yeah?
He's one of the new up-and-comers. Aaron Robinson, those 2 guys, they compete in the North Face Extreme Contest here in the lower 48, and having them come up there for the first time and to see just the excitement in these guys and just how blown away they were with the mountains. And
well, Kinger's always full of stoke, and there's some really good clips of him at the Tailgate Alaska site, right? Which is
TailgateAlaska.com.
Okay.
So you can check out. We got a bunch of videos that we put out there, so you can see all the videos of the action from the trip at TailgateAlaska.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, sit tight. We got more to cover because I think King of the Hill, that's going to be coming back as well. We'll talk about that much more. You're watching The Daily Habit here on Fuel TV. Welcome back. One of the Daily Habit here with Nick Perata, Mark Sullivan. Totally bored. See how far we go back?
Totally bored.
Totally bored. TB. Let's talk about Tailgate again real quick before we get to King of the Hill. We were talking about how big AK is, but talk about how small and tight the whole zone that you guys do tailgate in.
We're based, about 30 miles out of Valdez, Alaska, on the Chugach Mountains on Thompson Pass, and basically where we set up our tailgate is at the front entrance of the greatest arena any snowboarder or skier has ever seen. And in 360 degrees around you have the sickest mountains you've ever.
This isn't like tailgating at Mountain High on the weekend in like the mud, right? You guys got tents, there's kegs, like you got sponsors, Alaskan Brewing Company.
Imagine,
that must have been you that got a brewing company to sponsor the event, Mark.
Yeah, we had Alaskan Brewing sponsor the event, and Red Bull, and Never Summer sponsor our barbecue. We had a lot of great people come together to build this little base camp to kind of fill the time, the downtime that you have. It's inevitable that you're going to have a lot of downtime. It's all above tree line riding, and so when it snows, which it does a lot, you're kind of grounded at the in the base camp. And so we set up this barbecue and have a party for all the downtimes, and that's a tailgate party.
And King of the Hill, a lot of people are excited about this. It's coming back.
King of the Hill is coming back. It's a 3-day helicopter event. The first day is a downhill, and it's about a 4,000-foot downhill. Second day is a freestyle day where we build about 8 cheese wedge super booters on a mountain that already has unlimited freestyle terrain. And then the third day is an extreme day. It's about a 3,000 to 4,000
I can't wait to see you can hang on the Wu-Tangs and everything. It's going to be interesting. All right, we're going to shift gears from all things chilly to go to a place where it's hot. Hell. Yeah, that's right. Hal Morris went to the premiere of Drag Me to Hell. Did you see how I did that? Little segue. Enjoy.
Great segue.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Daily Habit here with Nick Perata and Mark Sullivan. And guys, before we let you go, can we educate the snowboarders out there, the kids that like to slide on the snow? How do they get involved in tailgate? Because this is like, it's an open party, right?
It's an open party. Just check out tailgatealaska.com and it gets you all the information that you need to come up, hang out, and ride with your heroes up in Valdez, Alaska.
Mark, you're my hero. I just want to let you know. I've seen you in some of the webisodes. There's 8 webisodes. There'll eventually be 10, right?
There'll be 10 webisodes. That's right. They're all put together by Mark Oliver. He did a great job filming and editing all our webisodes, and we'll be doing it again next year.
I can't wait. It's how you do it. You take some pow, you get some beer, kick back. And King of the Hill coming back, right?
King of the Hill's coming back late March, early April 2010. We're out there to find the best snowboarder in the world. So if you think you got skills, log on to Tailgate Alaska and check us out.
Gentlemen, keep up the good work. Mark, I'll see you in Vancouver, right at the Olympics?
Definitely.
All right, good stuff. Here to take us out of the show, their EP is available now on iTunes, and the full-length album drops July 14th. Here's the performance of Home on the Snickers Soundstage. Once again, Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. We'll see you next time.